Assalamu alaikum class. Hope you are fine and build up your understanding effectively about the inflectional morphology or the system of the morphology or the general and scholar definitions about the morphology. What is morphology, how it differs from the other branches of the linguistics, and how words are combined and designed, and afterwards what is inflection morphology in the under the heading of the free morpheme and the bound morphemes. What are the actual morphemes? Free morpheme is a morpheme which can stand on its own. It does not need to take another word or another chunk or another morpheme, whether it is free or whether it is bound, to clear its meaning. For instance, laptop, the mobile. These are such sort of words are the free morphemes. They can exist there. They can exist alone. They can stand on their own. Afterwards, we have discussed in previous class about the inflection morphology. It is the one basic category of the morphology. Inflection shows the time framework, the span, the mode, the aspect of the time. Like it also tells us about the present time, past time, and it also describes the comparative degree. It also describes or depicts the superlative degree in the form of by adding est as a bound morpheme as a suffix with the free morpheme. Likewise, there are certain prefixes, but those prefixes are not the element of the inflection morphemes. One important thing about the inflection morpheme under the heading of the bound morphemes, that only suffixes which comes at the end of the root word or with the root word, they are working over there as a inflectional morpheme. For instance, if we want to make plural morphemes or the plural of a singular word, for instance book and books, here the s ending s is the inflection morpheme. It tells us about the singular and the plurality phenomena in the language. Afterwards, the ing is the progressive form. It tells us about the continuity of the activity, continuity of the task. It is also called the inflectional suffix and bound morpheme. Afterward, the ing is also known as the present participle in English grammar, and there are two categories of the bound morphemes as a past participle. They are ed and en. For instance, play, played, and ate, eaten. These are again the past participle, but they are suffixes which are working here as a past time to show or to depict the past time rather than present time. The only s, like he walks, he eats, she plays, she weeps. Now the ending s is not the plural of the verb. It is the subject verb agreement that if there is a third person singular pronoun refers the s. S assist to define its subject. It is also the inflection morpheme. So likewise, there are 8 morphemes which are inflectional morphemes, and they are working in the English morphology as the suffix. I can recall again those 8 morphemes. For instance, one s for the singular to plurality. The other category of the s is the possession, possessive pronoun. For instance, Ali's bag rather than Ali bag. It shows the possession. The third category of S is the subject verb agreement. If there is third person pronoun, then S will comes with the third person pronoun or the names of the persons. Then ing as a progressive form, as the continuous form, and it is a present participle. It is also the inflection morpheme. Ed, en is also these fixes and the past participle and the suffixes in English grammar. Then er as a comparative degree, est as a superlative degree. Big, bigger, biggest. So these are the 8 inflectional morphemes in English grammar. Now, after defining the nature of the inflectional morphemes in English morphology, in the English words structure or the internal structure of the English words, there are 8 morphemes, and these are the inflectional morphemes. Which inflectional morphemes tells us about the mood and the aspect of the time. There is the other category which we will discuss today is the derivational morphology. Derivational morphology is the second category of the morphology. It is the opposite of the inflectional morpheme. Derivational morphology change the class of the word rather than telling about the time framework. It just tells us about the process that how in English grammar the category and the word class change. What is the word class? Means we have 8 parts of speech in English grammar, like noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, prepositions, conjunctions, interjections, determiner, articles, so on and so forth. Now, the noun differs from the verb, means noun working as a subject. Noun is the name of an entity, whereas the verb is the action. Pronoun is the word which is used instead of a noun. Adjective which adds something in the meaning of the noun. Adverb is the quality of the verb. Likewise, interjections which shows our sudden feelings. Prepositions which can be joined on the connectors between the words. Conjunctions which join the independent clauses or the phrases and the sentences. In English grammar, articles which are definite and indefinite, are and an indefinite article in English grammar, and the is the definite article. ये सब चीज़ें आपको इसलिए डिस्क्राइब की जा रही हैं कि हमारे पास इंग्लिश ग्रामर के अंदर 8 से 9 पार्ट्स ऑफ स्पीच होते हैं. पार्ट्स ऑफ स्पीच वो अल्फाज हैं, वो अल्फाज का मजमूआ है जो कि हमें इंग्लिश ग्रामर का और किसी भी ज़ुबान का स्ट्रक्चर बताने के लिए इफ़ेक्टिव रोल प्ले करता है. अब हम डेरिवेशनल मॉर्फोलॉजी की जब बात करेंगे तो ये हमने ये देखना है कि कौन सा ऐसा प्रोसेस है जो कि एक नाउन से वर्ब बना सकता है, एडजेक्टिव से एडवर्ब बना सकता है, या कि वो कौन सी वर्ड क्लास जो है अपने साथ लेकर चलता है. सो देयर इज अ जनरल डेफिनेशन अबाउट द डेरिवेशनल मॉर्फोलॉजी. Derivational morphology is a type of word formation that creates, that develops, that designs new lexemes, new expressions, novel words, novel elements in the field of the language. So, derivational morphology change the syntactic category or by adding substantial new meaning to a free bound base, to a free morpheme. So in English morphology, a derivational morpheme is an affix. What are affixes or affix? Affixes are those words which may come at the initial position of the free morpheme or at the ending position of the free morpheme. For instance, prefixes and suffixes. Prefix as a in, impossible, incomplete, unforgetful. The word unforget. Forget is the base root. Base form is the core word, but full as a suffix, and un is working over here as a prefix. So these are the affixes. So affixes are working here to add the meaning to a word or to create a new word or a new form of a word, जिसको मैंने आपसे पहले कहा कि ये हमारे पास एक वर्ड क्लास चेंज कर देता है इंग्लिश ग्रामर के अंदर. सिंटैक्टिक स्ट्रक्चर कौन सा है कि कैसे हम देखते हैं कि किस तरह से कुछ सफिक्सेस लगाने की वजह से, कुछ वर्ड्स लगाने ऐड करने की वजह से एक फ्री मॉर्फीम के साथ किस तरह से एक वर्ड जो है वो अपनी क्लास कैटेगरी चेंज करता है. फॉर इंस्टेंस, इफ वी से दैट प्ले, व्हाट इज प्ले? प्ले इज अ नाउन. प्लेज खेलता है, मीन्स उसकी जो प्रेजेंट उसका जो है वो ही प्लेज. ठीक है, प्ले एक नाउन नहीं है, प्ले सॉरी ये क्या है, वर्ब है. प्ले खेलना, ठीक है. प्लेज खेलता है, प्लेड खेला, प्लेइंग खेल रहा है. बट इफ आई से दैट ही इज अ प्लेयर, नाउ सी द er as a suffix over here change the class category from a verb. Play is a verb and player is a noun. This is called or known as the derivational morphology in English grammar, in the structure of the English morphology and the syntax. So there are other examples would be over here. So derivational morphemes can change the grammatical category of a word. Means ये क्लास चेंज कर सकता है. किस तरह से एक नाउन से वर्ब बना दिया, वर्ब से एक नाउन बना दिया. हमें देखने की ज़रूरत है कि किस तरह से ये फर्दर क्लास कैटेगरीज चेंज करता है, कैसे ये नाउन एडजेक्टिव में चला जाता है और वर्ब किस तरह से एडवर्ब में जाता है, या वर्ब किस तरह से एक नाउन के अंदर शफल हो जाता है और एज न्यू वर्ड हमारे साथ वो इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाता है. सो एडिंग द सफिक्स फुल with the free morpheme beauty, it changed the word form from a noun to an adjective. Beauty is a noun, but when we add the suffix as a bound morpheme with beauty, beautiful, beautiful means it adds something in the meaning of the beauty. She is a beautiful girl. He is a handsome boy. So while adding er to merge changes the word from a verb to a noun. Just the words merge and er adding as a merger. One thing important, as I have earlier discussed in er as a superlative degree in the field of inflectional morphology or in the mode of the inflectional morphology, here er is not working over here in the derivational morphology as a superlative degree. This word just separately the suffix er just add to a noun to make a verb और a verb to a noun like merge. किसी चीज़ को हम उसके अंदर ऐड करना, मर्ज करना, मिक्सचर बनाना, ठीक है. एंड मर्जर, ये मर्ज कर दिया गया, ये मर्जर हो गया, ठीक है. तो ये एक मर्ज क्या था, वर्ब है, और ये किस तरह से आ गया, एक नाउन बना दिया गया. So moving on, the derivational example, er is used to transform the verb bake into the noun baker. Bake किसी चीज़ को बेक करना, बनाना, फॉर्म देना किसी शक्ल की, केक का बेक करना या किसी और आपकी रेसिपी का. सो बेकर, बेक करने वाला. So here the baker working over here as a noun, but keep in mind that this sort of er is not as a superlative degree over here in the derivational morphology, but er and est as a comparative degree. Sorry, in the previous slides I have talked about the superlative degree. It is the comparative degree. The er as a comparative degree is in derivational morphology is used to make or change the class from a verb to a noun. But this er, if this er is used in inflection morphology, then it would be the comparative degree. Big, bigger, tall, taller, so on and so forth. So the morpheme ly again as a suffix change the adjective quick into the adverb quickly. Now see, quick is a adjective, means it is the quality of some person, of some entity. But when we say that and add the ly with the quick, the word quick, so it changed the class of the quick to a quickly as an adjective to an adverb. Moving on, adjectives such as happy into nouns such as happiness using the derivational morpheme